Guess what? We've just arrived at one of the most incredible sights in Germany, the Cologne Cathedral. Before we even step inside, just imagine looking up at these twin spires. They soar over 157 meters into the air. For centuries, this was the tallest building in the world. Now, let's go inside. The moment you step through this massive door, you're just hit by the sheer scale of the place. The air changes. It becomes cool, heavy, and full of history. I must say, it makes you pause for a moment to take it all in. We are standing in the nave, the central part of the church. Look at the height of this vaulting. It reaches almost 43 meters. These huge clustered pillars look like trees reaching up to support a stone canopy. It's pure high Gothic mastery. The architects wanted this space to feel like a slice of heaven, and I think they succeeded, don't you? The light here is incredible. Gothic architecture is all about the light. And Cologne has some of the most beautiful stained glass in the world. Imagine the medieval stonemasons and glass artists working on these. They weren't just creating windows, they were creating sermons in glass. I must say, when you look around, it's not just tall, it's unbelievably vast. This cathedral has a footprint of over 6,100 square meters. It's one of the largest Gothic structures ever constructed, designed to hold an immense number of pilgrims. And here's a startling fact. Guess what? During World War II, Cologne was devastated by bombing, yet the cathedral miraculously stood. It was struck 14 times, but its sheer bulk and solid construction kept it from collapsing. Imagine the chaos around it and this magnificent structure just refusing to fall. Guess what? This cathedral actually features two immense Kleis organs. See the 30-ton nave organ hanging 20 meters up like a massive swallow's nest? Together with the transept organ, this setup is comprised of over 140 stops, making it a truly breathtaking visual and structural marvel. We've stopped right here at the high altar because the main reason this enormous church exists is sitting behind it, the shrine of the three kings. Imagine the historical weight of this treasure. It's what drove the city to start building this cathedral back in 1248, and it made Cologne one of the most important travel destinations in all of Europe. The shrine is a giant gold chest, and it's believed to hold the remains of the biblical wise men, or the three kings. The Archbishop brought these relics here in 1164. Because the older church wasn't big enough for all the pilgrims who suddenly arrived, they started planning this Gothic wonder. Look closely at the chest itself. It took the workshop of the artist Nicholas of Verdun decades to create this piece. It's covered in thin sheets of gold, colorful precious stones, and small carved figures that tell the stories of Jesus and the Bible. I must say, it's truly huge, over 2 meters long and weighing about 300 kilograms. This chest is actually the largest and most valuable treasure created in Europe during the Middle Ages. Standing here, I feel like you're looking right into the heart of Cologne's history. It's an unbelievable piece of art and faith.
Muito bonita a catedral. Essa catedral ela fica na cidade de Colônia, na Alemanha. É a quinta maior catedral.
I must say, It's impossible to ignore the incredible light show being put on by the stained glass here. This cathedral is a true architectural champion, holding over 10,000 square meters of window space, the largest area of windows in any church in the world. These windows aren't just big, they're ancient. Some of the oldest, like those in the choir, date all the way back to the early 14th century. The glass itself is typically the traditional medieval pot metal glass, using minerals like copper and cobalt to get those deep reds and blues. Now, here's a startling fact. Guess what? Even though the cathedral survived the World War II bombings, many of the 19th century windows were heavily damaged or completely destroyed. But thankfully, before the raids began, the medieval glass was meticulously removed and stored for safety, preserving that irreplaceable 14th century beauty. The cost of replacing and restoring the massive windows that were damaged has been monumental, taking decades and symbolizing the incredible ongoing commitment to this structure. Imagine the level of detail it takes to carve an entire biblical story into wood. We're looking at the Agilulfus Altarpiece, a massive carved oak masterpiece from around 1520. It's nearly 7 meters wide when fully open. It features about 400 individual carved figures. The central part focuses on the Passion of Christ, while the side panels tell the life of St. Agilulfus, a former bishop of Cologne. Even though it wasn't originally made for this cathedral, it fits perfectly here as a stunning example of how art was used to bring stories to life for everyone to see. Now we are walking towards the Chapel of the Virgin, where we find one of the cathedral's most vital art pieces, the Adoration of the Magi altarpiece. I must say this famous triptych, painted by Stefan Lochner around the 1440s, is stunning. It was actually the main painting for Cologne's City Council chapel before it was moved here. Guess what? In 1520, the great artist Albrecht Dürer paid money just to see this painting, highlighting how famous it was even then. The central scene shows the Magi, linking the painting directly to the shrine across the way. The side panels feature Cologne's patron saints, Saint Ursula and Saint Gereon. This piece is a beautiful example of the softer, glowing style of the medieval Cologne school, and it remains in active use in the Lady Chapel today. Next, we look at the beautiful Milan Madonna, or Schmuck Madonna, which dates to around 1290. This revered wooden sculpture is one of the most beloved pieces in the cathedral. It's a classic example of Gothic art, showing Mary standing on a crescent moon holding the Christ child. For centuries, the figure has been associated with miraculous powers. Imagine the weight of history held within these massive stone containers. As we move through the cathedral, your eyes are immediately drawn to these incredible sarcophagi and ornate tombs. I must say, they are much more than just burial sites. They are magnificent monuments to the powerful archbishops and saints who defined this city. Some are carved from solid stone with incredible simplicity, while others are topped with life-sized figures that look almost real. Guess what? These tombs often tell a hidden story through the tiny details in the carvings, from the robes they wear to the symbols at their feet. It's a quiet, humbling experience to see these monuments up close and realize that each one represents a different chapter in this cathedral's 700-year journey. It is an incredibly busy day here at the cathedral. Because there are so many people visiting today, the staff is actually letting us in small batches to see certain areas. Imagine how popular this site is. It might mean a bit of a wait, but guess what? It really helps keep the experience quiet and respectful for everyone while we explore these special parts of the building. If you're enjoying our walk through this incredible cathedral, it would be wonderful to have you join us for all our future journeys. Please hit that like button, and if you subscribe and ring that bell, you'll never miss a trip. Imagine being able to explore the most beautiful corners of the world right along with us, all from the comfort of your armchair.
Selber hier als